Have you ever wondered what viewport width and height calculations are? No, me neither. But I have some info on them today. So basically, instead of using PX and EM or REM, you can use VW and VHeight. No, VW and VH and VMIN and VMAX to base your widths and heights on the viewport of the browser and make things much more responsive, which is kind of cool. So some examples I have here, VW, 10 VW would be 10% of the viewport's width. So what you can see in the browser is going to be 10%. And I'm just going to add some of these examples so you can see what I am talking about. Let's just style up our demo div and give it a nice gradient. I think a nice green linear gradient will be good for our demo div. And we're going to set this, here we go. We have green gradient, looks nice. It's hard to say, but looks nice. And now we're going to set our width VW10. So you can actually preset these elements if you wanted to. And we have width VW10, which is width 10 VW. Probably should do them the other way. And then it will actually resize itself to 10% of the view width. So that's 10% of this width. So you can see if I move this out, it changes the width to still 10% all times. At all times it will stay 10, which is cool. And we can do the same with VH, which is view height. So if we do height VH10, which is just height 10 VH, 10 view H's, and then we'll add our demo div in here as well. So we have demo div MV2. I just had that from some padding and stuff, but we have width. Why do I have width? Wait, we want to do height. I got these around the wrong way, I think. So the next one is height VH10. Let's have a look. So this will go height 10% of this browser. So then if we move this, you can see it changes the height to 10% with VH, which is kind of cool. And the next one we have is VMAX, which is using the VMAX setting. Kind of like VH Max. VMAX 10, width VMAX 10, we'll have a look. Width 10 VMAX. What does that look like? Kind of looks like the same as this one. That's an interesting thing, but it doesn't resize as much as that one. So if you go smaller than that, that one still stays at this 10, and it still resizes the same way. And then the last one is VMIN. And I do have some descriptions of what VMAX and VMIN are. So we've got width VMIN. Where's my div for VMIN? That's the one I pasted in before. All right, and then we have VMIN here. And there we go. That has the VMIN. This is the height. Like that changes that way as well. Weird. So VMIN is a viewport unit that stands for viewport minimum. And it's relative, meaning that its value is determined by the size of the browser's viewport. Specifically, one VMIN is equal to 1% of the smaller dimension of viewport, either the viewport's width or its height. And VMAX is a CSS viewport unit that represents 1% of the larger dimension of the viewport, the visible area of the browser window. So there you go. Some cool width min-max testing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next VMAX.